Hello guys, so I'm Anmol Rathi, and in this tutorial, in this video, we are going to see the next lab experiment of network lab, which is transferring the FTP using FTP over TCP. TCP means transmission network protocol, and as you can see, this is what we will get after we execute the code. But before that, we'll go into each line and understand how the code works. And if you have not already seen, I'd suggest to go back and see the previous video in which I've designed a basic topology in design and animated a basic topology in NS2 and NAM, because that will help you get your basics right. And so yeah, let's get started with this one if you already watched that. So again, the main code is the initial code is the same. So the first of all, we have the set NS, so we are initializing the simulator, we are starting the simulator, and then setting blue color of the arrows that you have just seen on the in the simulator. So we are setting that color here. If you don't set any color, it will be black. And then over here we again are opening the NAM file, the animation file that we use for NAM for storing the data that we get after running the animation. So yeah, we are opening the file and storing it to the pointer NF, pointer on variable NF, and then using that pointer and then telling that pointer that all the NAM data will be stored in that file. So again, we need a finish procedure every time. So here we have a finish procedure or function that we call at the end of the program to clean up all the files and end the execution. So again, we have the global NS and NF here, these two variables. That means it is calling the simulator and the NF file that we just opened, the .nam file. And because it is out of the procedure, we are using the global keyword here, and then below it we are using the flush trace that tells the program to store all the remaining data in the file and then close the file. And then we are going to execute the file and then exit the finish procedure. Then again, so right here we are creating 4 nodes. So let's do that. Let's create 4 nodes here. Let's quickly take these nodes, and these are just creating. We are not yet positioned this nodes. Okay, we need to position it, and we'll do that in the code, and I'll do it over here also after that. So yeah, we just have created the nodes. We have done nothing to it. We have not connected it. We have not positioned it. We have just created them, and also let's name them. So let's name this one N1. Okay, so yeah, we have N1 here. Let's take it over here. Okay, then let's sorry for that. Okay, we're back to our sketch. Okay, great. Sorry for that. Yeah, so we have N1 here. N1, great. Now let's take another and create N0. Okay, now let's create N2. So we have just created the 4 nodes just like we have seen in the code right now. We have our 4 nodes ready here, N0, N1, N2, N3. Okay, now let's go ahead in the code. What is this? Okay. So for this, we'll need to just see what is here. So first of all, we are connecting the nodes. Just as we have done in the previous experiment, we need to connect the node first, and we also again use the duplex link. That means we can send and receive data send data from a node and receive data from another node. It can work both ways, and we are just defining the connections here. So N0 will be connected to N2. We'll understand that in a bit how that will be connected, how which node will be where is decided. It is there in the next few lines. Then we are defining the delay and also the speed of packet transfer, which is 2 Mbps, as you can see here. So the next line creates another connection between N1 and N2, these two nodes, and again defines the speed, defines the delay. This again does the same thing between N2 and N3. So we have 3 connections here. Now the next one sets the queue limit, so I'll tell you in a bit what it is. So yeah, let's look at this. So these lines basically define where the nodes will be in the simulation. So as you can see, N0 and N2 is in the center, as you can see here. N0, N2, everything is connected to N2. So let's take N2 in the center first. Let's take it here. Great. We have N2 in the center, and then N0 is connected to N2. So let's take N2 and put it behind N0 here. Sorry, let's take N0 and put it behind N2. Then the next is telling that N1 is connected to N2, and the orientation. Read the orientation, please. N0 is on top of N2. So it is saying write down. That what does that mean? That means that N0 is basically, this write down is basically a position for N2. So N0, the position of N2 will be right on the right side and below N2. Okay, so yeah, the next line says that N1 and N2 and orientation right up. That means the N2 will be above N0. So let's take this below here. N1, sorry. Yeah, the last line is saying that N2 will be the N3 will be N3 will be to the right of N2. So let's take it there. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Okay, let's leave it there. It's creating. N3. Okay. So we have our nodes here. Now let's connect them. So the connection was done here, but I am connecting it done here above here, but I am connecting it now because I had to explain that how the connections are actually structured. So yeah, let's connect them now. This will be connected to this. This will be N1 will be connected to N2, and N2 will be connected to N3. Wonderful. So we're connected. And so what is this queue limit? Queue limit basically means that we will be sending data from N0 to, N0 will not be there. Okay, limit. So yeah, we will be sending data from here to N3. So N2 is in the center, right? So N2 will receive the data packet from N0 and also forward it to N3. So it will be like a center node, and it should have some limit to queue packets. If extra packets are coming, it should have some capacity to hold packets while it's sending, if the packets are too much to send constantly. So the queue limit is basically telling how many packets can be held by N2. So that is what we define here, and then it is also defining the queue position 0.2, 0.5. It will start there. Now let's go ahead. Now here we are actually creating a TCP connection. So we are again calling the TCP class and setting the pointer to the class here. Then we are setting the class. Now here we are attaching the N0 to TCP because we'll start the file transfer from here. So it should be attached to the TCP protocol. And then we are creating a sink. And as I've said in the previous videos, sink is basically when this node will receive the packet, it should be able to free the packet so that there's no storage, because it is a simulation. You don't really need those packets here. So yeah, sink is used to free the received packets. Okay, so yeah, we created that TP sink here in the sink pointer, and then over here we have connected the node 3 to the sync pointer, and then we also connect the TCP to the sync pointer, because we need to connect the TCP to everything. So yeah, here we are setting the FID to 1. Now again, so here what we are doing, so here we are creating the FTP file transfer protocol, which we need to use over the overall with TCP. So we are calling the FTP class here and setting it to the pointer FTP, and then we are attaching the FTP. We have opened FTP here, so we are attaching the TCP to the FTP protocol, TCP protocol to FTP, and then we are setting the type to FTP, setting the protocol FTP type. Okay, so now again, so we'll start the simulation is total of 5 seconds. So we'll start the simulation at 1 second and end it at 4 seconds. That is what we are defining here. And below that we are this line is not necessary. You can add it, or you can ignore it. This is basically telling the detaching everything that we just attached. So it is detaching the N0 with TCP from TCP. Then after that it is detaching the N3 from sync. It is not necessary line, but you can add it. And then again we are ending the simulation at 5.0 second. That is after 5 seconds is completed, and after this all coding is done, we are finally running the simulation, and then we can see what all the visual things that we see. Okay. So yeah, this is basically how TCP program is, or the FTP is used over TCP protocol, and this is the basic structure, and we'll now run the program and see how it all works out. So yeah, let's first open up a terminal and go to the location where I have stored the program. So I have stored it on my desktop TCL TCP. So as you can see, I have the file here. I can delete this out, this .tc.nam file, but in the previous video I have shown it to that we can recreate. It will recreate the file automatically, so I won't delete it. I'll just run the code nam.tcl. It is the same code that I showed you. Okay, so our animation, our simulator is up and running, simulator, and then let's run the program. Okay, so it is running right now. Keep an eye on this timing. I hope you can see this, and it is saying 0.3, 0.4. It will start at 1, so it will take some time to reach there, or you can just increase the speed. Okay, almost there. Yeah, so now we need to understand here that we just sent up just an acknowledgement packet. Let's go back. Okay, so as you can see, the 0 is this is TCP protocol, so it sends an acknowledgement and receives the acknowledgement before to consider a transfer complete. Now, unlike UDP, we just sends the packet. So as you can see, 0 just sent an acknowledgement here, and 3 is node 3 is replying with an acknowledgement. That means that this is the basic handshake. The TCP protocol makes sure that first you make sure that the two nodes in which the data transfer is to happen are connected. So that is what we just witnessed here. The 0 sent an acknowledgement packet. It did not had any data. It was just an acknowledgement, and 3 returned an acknowledgement. So what that did is that it basically created a connection between the two, and told both of them that told 0 that 3 is free. You can send the data ahead. So yeah, as you can see, now the data is being sent. Only 2 packets are sent right now. You need to also pay attention to the number of packets sent. So these packets are going here, and as you can see, 3 is sending an acknowledgement of receiving 2 packets. That will be sent to 0 via 2, and then the number of packet increases. So as we can see, slowly as 3 sends the acknowledgement for receiving all the packets, the 0 will increase the speed or number of packets it is sending. So it's just sent 4 packets and receive 4 acknowledgements, then it will send more. So 4, it will mostly double or increase the size. And now pay attention again once it starts sending in full flow. Okay, so as we can see here, as the sending of packets increases, the speed increases. If 3 is not not acknowledging fast enough, or it does not have the capacity to request to receive so many packages. The two here, we gave to some queue, right, in the code, queue of 10. So what does that mean is that if there are excess packets, that if the speed is not enough, the 3 is not receiving the packets fast enough, then 2 will store the packets and in the queue and keep sending it as in the flow, in the speed that is maintained, and 0 meanwhile will keep sending packets at its own speed. So 2 has the queue, so it basically storing the packets, and if the packets increases, if the packets go out of the queue limit, then it will just discard those packets. That is where we lose packets, so we don't need that. So yeah, as you can see, the transmission will happen the same way till 4 seconds. The data, the queue is maintained all the time. So yeah, that is how we run FTP over TCP, and this was, I think, the experiment number 6 of the network lab, and I hope you understood it. Thank you for watching.